Yo dudes! Welcome to Bombay potato cakes. So originally taking a simple Bombay potato curry and turning it into potato cakes. Really simple, tasty, delicious and phenomenally satiating. First thing, we have a pan on medium heat. I'm going to pop in 1 tablespoon of oil. Okay, so the base of most Indian stocks are 1 onion. We have 2 tablespoons or 2 cloves of garlic. I have half a thumb-sized piece of ginger and I have 1 red chili. So in they go into our pan. Let's sizzle. Obviously with the chili, include the seeds if you want it spicier. Leave them out if you don't. So while our onion, garlic, ginger and chili are just frying away there and starting to brown, I'm going to take 400 grams of potatoes. So I've just gone with simple red potatoes. These are an organic Satanta. Use whatever type of variety you have. And chop them into small bite-sized pieces. So we've quite an array of spices here and it's worthwhile using them for this is the basis of the flavour. So we have half a teaspoon of fennel seed, they'll add a slight aniseed note. Half a teaspoon of cumin seed, both these will add texture and bite. Half a teaspoon of ground coriander, half a teaspoon of ground cumin, 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom, worth getting out a little bit aromatic, 1/4 teaspoon of ground turmeric, pinch or 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper and 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Very important to have them all. If you do not have all these, simply use 2.5 tablespoons of medium to hot curry powder. So now that our onion and garlic are starting to brown, the browning is an indication of flavour development. It'll bring more sweet and also more saltier umami notes to it. So in go all our spices. We want to heat the cumin and the fennel seed until they start to pop, which will take a couple of minutes. Okay, that's ready to go. Okay, so the onions and garlic are brown, they're ready to go. We have our potatoes, we've chopped into bite-sized pieces. It's only 400 grams. In they go into the pan like this. And you can be going, raw potatoes into a pan, what are they doing? But wait for it. Okay, I have 200 ml of vegetable stock. Just give it a little stir if it's been sitting. Just gonna add a little bit. So what we want is we want to steam our potatoes. So now we've gone from frying to steaming. I'm gonna put the lid to trap that steam. And what it's going to do is keep circulating and we're going to leave that cook for about 10 minutes and slowly add the rest of the stock as it evaporates, because what we want to do is just cook until our potatoes are soft and ready to go. So you'll see now the potatoes are starting to stick a little bit. Just add more water because we don't want them to be frying, we want it to be boiling or steaming really is the main cooking method. Lid on and boom. So while our potatoes are cooking, I'm going to make a simple, easy mango chutney. So into our blender, I have 200 grams of frozen mango. You'll be able to get it in most supermarkets down the frozen food section. It just saves you trying to find a perfectly ripe mango and trying to chop it and all that. In on top, we're gonna go with a little bit of sweet and a little bit of savory. I'm gonna go with 1 teaspoon of rice wine vinegar. Go 1 teaspoon of maple syrup. Leave it out obviously if you want it less sweet. But it's that combination of sweet and acid that create the backdrop to this. I'm gonna go with a tiny little pinch of salt, just a little pinch. Just heighten the sweetness. Gonna go with half a teaspoon of ground ginger and half a teaspoon, even go with a 1/4 teaspoon of chili. If you like it hot, go with a little more. Finally, I'm gonna go in with 50 ml of water, just so it's kind of nice and smooth. Go with more water if you want it more runny, go with less water if you want it more thick. Here's our mango chutney, and you'll see it's quite nice and runny, good texture. As I mentioned, if you do want it thicker, just leave out the water. If you want it thinner, just add a little bit more. But really nice, lovely texture, it'll just go great. Okay, so I've been steaming the potatoes for about 12 minutes. Just to show you now, there is a bit of charring to the bottom, that's totally cool. Just get the back of your wooden spoon and scrape that off and incorporate it. That's huge flavour. The main thing that you'll know that your potatoes are cooked is that they're soft, and once you bite into them, they are obviously cooked. Okay, we're gonna turn them off the heat. Suddenly it's all done. Smells really delicious. I've chopped 1 bunch of scallions, so that's about 5 scallions, also known as spring onions. You know, the country's not like Ireland. I chopped them at a little slant just to give a little bit more variety of texture. I've 1 tin of chickpeas, that's 400 grams net weight. I drain and rinse them, so that's 240 grams. In they go. I've 1 flax egg, which I soaked, which was 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds with 3 tablespoons of water. Just mixed it together and let it sit for 5-10 minutes. That's going to function as the binder that's going to help hold this all together. 3 tablespoons of tomato puree. 1, 2, 3. Juice of half a lemon. And last thing for the Bombay potatoes, I'm going with 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. grab a fork or some form of potato masher, and we're just gonna, even back of your spoon, and just start to really mash the potatoes. I'm going to transfer it to a bowl because we're going to finish by frying up our potato cake, so I just want to clear my pan. Okay, time to shape our burgers. So we have our pan here. It is not on heat at the moment, it's slightly off. I've allowed our Bombay potato mixture just to cool ever so slightly because I got to handle it here and I don't want to burn my hands. I'm going to shape it. Out of this mixture, you're going to get 6 potatoes of about 160 to 180 grams. Bring it together, compact a little bit. I'm going to coat it in a little bit of gram flour. Gram flour, for those who aren't familiar, it's actually just a chickpea flour. It's gluten-free, it's high in protein, and it's almost like coating them in an egg-like texture on the outside. Really lovely. Okay, we got a pan on high heat. I'm gonna go in with 2 tablespoons of oil. Just as a generous coating, because we want these to crisp up on the outside. Obviously, if you want to be a little bit healthier and a bit lower in fat, just bake them. They'll bake no problem. Frying them will give you that lovely crispy exterior and just make them feel a little bit more indulgent. Be careful landing them down. So these cook really, really quick. All we're looking for is a char on the outside because the inside obviously is all cooked. So I'm going to pop them down like that. Bombay potato cake. You could all call them a Bombay potato fritter. Let's do a little push. Take some fresh coriander. I love some fresh coriander. Include the stalk if you can. A few larger leaves. Green. A little bit of chili. Ça c'est le Bombay potato cake. Okay, that's Bombay potato cake. Pretty easy to make, very simple. Took about 20 minutes to make from start to finish. Having the easy mango chutney really just helps to elevate it to another level. Packed full of flavour. You're getting like crispy exterior, gooey inside that's just packed full of flavour. Like you get the aromatic spice, you get kind of more baseline spices, cumin, coriander. Lovely bit of texture to it. It's absolutely delicious. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and let us know how you found this. Cheers, bye.